Hello everyone, Jenn from McCreath here. It's Monday, April 12th, 2021. I just got back from a visit to the Green Depot over on O'Leary Avenue here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. And I gotta say, it was a very disturbing business visit. I don't know where to start, so let's go to this website here, Green Depot. I thought this was a city service, but apparently is actually run by the Multi-Material Stewardship Board, which is a quasi-crown corporation under the provincial government. They have a Facebook page, Green Depot NL, apparently. Recycling 101, prepare your containers. So, I mean, I haven't taken stuff to the recycling depot for a long time. I live in an apartment building, and we have an option of just putting the recycling out in a shed where we have contractors that just remove it, and I don't know what they do with it. So, but I've been hurting for money, so I know you can get 5 cents a piece for some of this stuff, so I went through, made a list. Okay, bottles, cans, plastic, glass, whatever, etc. Let's put the camera back on me. So I load up these 2 bags, pull out the stuff that doesn't appear to be qualified, and I walk over to 30 O'Leary Avenue. And I open the door and stand there, and stand there, and stand there, and stand there. There's 3 or 4 workers in the background, sorting through various bags of recycling stuff. Then there's this big guy wearing a huge yellow vest that says supervisor on the back, and he's working with the workers for about 10 minutes. Then he finally comes over and says hello to me. Rather than say, hi, how are you, how can I help you, he starts mumbling gibberish that was very difficult to understand, and I could make out part of what he was saying. Then he clearly starts talking about bums and panhandlers and how he hates them and that people should get a job. And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting perspective. Can you help me? Then he walks away. Then he comes back about 2 minutes later and he says, you know, I don't like them people at the church that molest kids. I don't like Paul Bernardo. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And I'm not sure if he was intoxicated or just mentally not all there. So I come right out and ask him, are you the manager? He says, oh, I don't work here. And I say, well, why are you wearing a jacket that says supervisor, and why are you even in here? Then he just walks away. And then the next customer comes in, stands behind me, and I turn and look at her and say, I don't know who he is, but I don't think he works here. I've been standing here for 25 minutes and there doesn't appear to be any customer service. So this guy wanders over again, and again he's continuing to mumble on about these theories about how he doesn't like mentally ill people and he thinks they should all be shot. That he says people who need surgery that's elective shouldn't be allowed to get it. I don't know if that was a dig at me for being transgender or just a general comment. Clearly not something you would expect to hear from anyone, whether they're an employee or a volunteer inside of a recycling place like this. I said, sir, can you just tell me how long I'm going to have to wait to be served and who can serve me? Then he says, oh, and points to the 2 ladies sorting the stuff. When they're done, they come over, and that's pretty much it. Then he walked away. So another 10 minutes go by, and one of these ladies comes over, says, put on table. I'm like, okay. I gather English is a second language, and that's fine. I've got no problem with that. But just blunt, no hi, how are you? Just put on table. So I load my 2 bags of recycling into this table, and she immediately looks, she doesn't even open it, and just says, we no take garbage. We no take garbage. And I'm saying, I point to the sign on the wall that has a list of everything they accept for 5 cents a piece. And I said, I don't understand what you're saying. I've got recyclables, I want 5 cents a piece. Then she angrily throws one of the bags on the floor and says, no garbage. So then I open the second bag and pull out a Pepsi can and a Gatorade bottle, point to the sign that shows that they accept these things and that they pay you 5 cents a piece. And I say, 5 cents a piece. I'm not leaving unless you give me 5 cents a piece. So she storms over and talks to one of her coworkers, and then she comes over to me. She can't speak English very well either, but I just look at her and hold the two things up saying, can and bottle 5 cents. I'm not leaving. So she opens my second bag, goes through them, separates out every one that's worth 5 cents, and then points at these chipped recycle. I don't know what this is not very clear on their website. It says they take glass and plastic bottles, but apparently they only take certain glass bottles and certain plastic bottles and certain cans. She said, we take these, we no take those. Then she goes to the cash register and pulls out 85 cents. Oh boy, I don't know where to start with this. One, very poor customer service. Very poor to have rude staff that seem to contradict the policies. And this so-called supervisor, who may or may not even be a supervisor, I don't know. I mean, to me, this is a very serious red flag. It was a very unfriendly, unwelcoming environment. This does not encourage me to recycle and go back there ever again. I'm going to have to find out who's responsible, who oversees this entity, this organization. I'm just curious if anyone else has ever had any negative experience at one of these, green depots here in St. John's. I'd like to hear a story. Politicians, if you hear this, you may be hearing from me. I'm not sure if this is a human rights issue, if it's an Office of the Citizens Representative complaint. Bottom line is somebody's going to get complaints over this because this is not acceptable business practice. Blatantly insulting mentally ill people in front of your customers. And one, of course, me being a known out transgender person, and to make that comment about people shouldn't be getting elective surgeries. I mean, yeah, this is very bad. It's a very bad look, and I want the word out there that somebody who's responsible for this organization needs to go in there and do a complete audit. Where's the manager? I asked to see the manager. There was no manager, except for a guy wearing a supervisor vest who claims he didn't even work there. Anyway, I'll stop rambling for now. I will be calling Patty Daly about this and having a chat, because this is totally ridiculous, totally unacceptable.